Soup's on.
I just can't stop doing these things, can I? But what can I say? They're easy, fun, and certainly addictive. So plaid sofa time once again, as we take a look at an interesting combination of store brand and stuff here. Now, I've been on night shift for nearly 6 months now, and one thing that I really don't like is how difficult it is to go to a supermarket. Because, of course, supermarkets aren't open late at night. So in order to actually go to a real grocery store, I have to actually go out of my way and go on a special trip on my day off instead of just stopping by on the way home. Unless I have a really rotten night where I'm there till 6:30 in the morning or something like that, and the store is open at 7. So, I've been looking at alternative ways of buying groceries from convenience stores and getting non-perishables from other stores that are on the way into work in the evenings and stuff like that. Now, one thing I've noticed while going through all of this is that everybody seems to be giving supermarkets a run for their money these days. It used to be that supermarkets are where you went for things like rewards cards and store brands, but nowadays everybody's doing it. Even smaller stores like convenience stores and pharmacies. I've seen Cumberland Farms branded milk and potato chips, and today we're taking a look at Rite brand chunky soup. Okay? It's kind of, I remember I did a double take when I think someone had like CVS brand something that was a grocery item once, and I was like, pharmacies have store brands these days too? What? So, I don't know. I guess everybody's trying it nowadays. It's just kind of weird. I think pharmacy, I think like prescription drugs or something. And prescription drugs and food, well, all weirdness of that aside, let's see if it's any good or not. $2.50 a can, I believe, was the price, so a little bit more than the Job Lot chowder, but it is a slightly bigger can, and it's chunky! I love chunky soup. I'm a big fan of chunky soup. It's one of the few ways to get me to eat soup and consider it a meal and not just something you eat when you're sick, especially this being chicken noodle. Hearty chunks of chicken, vegetables, and a tasty broth. Great anytime. Yeah, well, so's most food if you're hungry. What do we got for nutrition facts? Blah, 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 blah. Oh, salt bomb. 38% salt per serving. Times 2. So roughly 2/3 of the amount of salt one should eat in a day, just from one of these darn things. Still doing better than the Job Lot chowder, though, which was like 100% salt after one can, but obviously living off of canned stuff isn't ideal for people wanting to watch their sodium. What else we got on here? Chicken broth, carrots, it's soup. I think we all know what's in this stuff. Distributed by Rite Aid in Pennsylvania. Instructions, do not add water, it's not condensed. If you're not satisfied, we'll happily refund your money. I can only imagine. I can only imagine how that must go. Hey, this chicken noodle soup sucked. I want my money back. I don't know how that goes with stuff like this, but let's quit gawking at the can and see what we have to work with here. Looking and smelling good already. One thing I'm noticing though, where's the broth? There's like less broth than there is stuff, which I suppose is a good thing, because I've had cheap soup before that was like 80% broth and 20% like soup stuff or stuff, whatever. It's supposed to be chunky soup. Let's throw it in the microwave until it's hot and see what it tastes like. Well, the directions said microwave 3.5 minutes or until hot, and I almost couldn't pick up the bowl when the microwave stopped, so yeah, there we go. Still a distinct lack of broth, though. This is almost like a pasta salad with chicken stock added. It's got that much stuff in it. Impressive. How big are the chicken chunks? Oh yeah, usual diced whatever it is, but what does it taste like? See if we can get a little of everything here and try some of this out. In 3, 2, 1... Yep. It's chunky soup. I'm starting to think that with soup these days, if you've had one, you've had them all. So, I'd say definitely, I'm going to have to compare this to Campbell's and see what exactly merits the price, the increased price of the national brands over this stuff, because this isn't all that bad, actually. Not a bad deal if I do say so myself. Big chunks of vegetables. It almost looks like a kind of stew you'd make in a crock pot. Not bad. Well, that was pretty decent. Certainly filling. It's definitely chunky soup, all right. Now, I'm going to have to compare everybody's store brand. Maybe I can make a series out of this, comparing store brands versus national brands for local cheap stuff stores and regular stores around here for canned soups of various types. I don't know, maybe I could actually do something constructive with these Ashen's parodies besides scratch the parody itch. Anyways, the camera can't focus on a sofa right in front of it, so let's remedy that by putting something else in front of it. Because it's time to go back for seconds. Because this Rite Aid also happened to have chowder. Actually, no. Since we still have the picture and the sound from the last time, chowder. That's more like it. Now let's find out just how well the largest pharmacy chain on the East Coast and third largest in the nation handles this New England classic. So remember the last time the clam chowder was a bit of a salt bomb, but it did have significant chunks of clam in it, although I forgot the milk, so I kind of ruined it like that. I tried it again afterwards with milk, and it was actually pretty decent. I have had fresh New England clam chowder before with real fresh ingredients that didn't come in a can, so Gordon Ramsay might actually like it, but so I know what clam chowder should taste like. One of the things I really liked about the Job Lot chowder is that you could taste a little bit of sea salt still in the clams, whereas some of these canned chowders like the Campbell's and stuff, sometimes it just tastes a little too clammy, like they took a little too much of the sea salt out trying to wash everything up and stuff. Anyways, Rite Aid Pantry, New England clam chowder, as opposed to the New York stuff that's more like pasta salad with the tomato sauce. How those New Yorkers call something chowder that isn't creamy is beyond me, but that's another discussion for another day, now that I've made everybody west of the western half of Connecticut mad. I do apologize. New England clam chowder chunky soup. Tender pieces of clam with chunks of potatoes and a delicious clam broth. Great anytime! Yeah, so's any food if you're hungry. Interesting. Low-resolution picture of that. You'd think they'd make it a little bit sharper. And, well, that's just... It's clam chowder, for Pete's sake. What do we have? We got 890 milligrams of sodium this time, so 37%. Yeah, let me get the soup can for them. Yep. Roughly about the same as the chicken noodle stuff, but still less of a salt bomb than the Job Lot chowder, which is probably why the Job Lot chowder was so cheap. Let's have 2 grams of sugar. What the heck's that from? Ingredients: clam broth, rehydrated potatoes. Back to the Future reference. Hydrate level 4, please. Where's my hydrator and my hoverboard, darn it? It's almost 2013. We're running out of time. Okay, I need to stop with the Back to the Future references every time I see the word hydrate. Clams, soybean oil. Oh, clams isn't the first ingredient. Oh, man, it is chowder. It isn't like canned clams or anything. Modified cornstarch, blah, 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 monosodium glutamate, MSG. Oh, brother. Do not add water because it's not condensed. It actually does have microwave instructions. And this time they have their darn logo with that. If you're not satisfied, we'll happily refund your money. I don't know what there is to not be satisfied about with canned soup, much less canned chowder. 3.5 minutes in the microwave. Let's get this over with. Chowder! 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 And things are looking much better already. First, this is not a condensed chowder, so you don't have to add milk. And even though it's not condensed, I still had a hard time getting it out of the can. That's how thick this stuff was coming out of the darn can. And also notice, you almost can't see it because it blends in a lot better with the bowl. So it's a lot lighter than the chowder that we had, the Job Lot stuff, which is like brown clam porridge. But who cares what it looks like? Unless you're some kind of like celebrity chef or something that goes around calling people donkey or something like that when they can't cook a risotto. Too many Hell's Kitchen flashbacks. Alright. Rite Aid chunky chowder. Weird combination, but what does it taste like? In 3, 2, 1. Stop dripping off the spoon. I need a paper towel, but at least it didn't get on the floor. Maybe I should actually sit a little closer to it. Yeah, a little drippy for a chowder, but little drippy for a chowder, but that's the way the chowder drips. Kind of like the way the cookies crumble. Definitely decent clam chowder, and not cream of potato soup. Yeah, I gotta get a camera with it. I can't fit a thumbs up in this shot with the bowl at the same time unless I mash my fist into the chowder. Well, if you park your car in Harvard Yard, you'll definitely find this stuff passable. I must mention, though, no canned anything is ever as good as fresh, including chowder. So it's not like I'm expecting, like, you know, the kind of chowder you'd get if you went out and actually did some clamming and then raised some potatoes in a vegetable garden out back and then did all the stuff with fresh ingredients. But it is still canned. But this is leaps and bounds ahead of the job lot stuff. Except it's kind of soupy. Hence the need for a paper towel, which I should probably go find right now. Ugh, I'm stuffed, man. You know, soup may traditionally be known as poor people food in many cultures. The poor have it darn good, if that's what counts as soup these days. And I should know, because I'm poor myself. Alrighty, so how about some dessert? Since we took a trip to Rite to pick that stuff up, it seems only fitting that we finish off with a little bit of dessert. Beginning with Rite peanut butter cups. What the? Watch out, Reese's. The pharmacies are coming to get you. Rite peanut butter cups. Oh, brother. It's sugar. I think we all know that. Manufactured equipment which processes wheat, peanut butter, and oh, there's your tree nuts again. Store in a cool, dry place. The satisfaction thingy again. And, yeah, it's candy. It's not good for us. Blah, blah, blah. Let's try it out. Now, I've had Reese's peanut butter cups for a long time. And let's see how these store-brand thingies do. Get off the golden wrapper, and then... Hey! Wait, what? What? Oh, cool. So you only have one wrapper to remove. You don't have to remove a second wrapper after you take the first one off. I like these already! Peanut butter cup-wise... Not as doesn't hit your tongue as hard as a Reese's does. Still passable, though. It's a lot easier to eat these things when you don't have to take off one wrapper, then take off another. Although this one kind of got smushed a bit. Reese's are sweeter and a tad peanut butterier. But for 99 cents... This is basically dollar store candy anyway, so little wonder this is like a peanut butter cup version of Tiffany Break, if anyone remembers that stuff. And I think they had this on sale too. If you had the rewards card, you got it for like 80 cents. It tastes like peanut butter though. It is peanut butter cups. It will do the trick. Certainly a lot better than paying for a name with the Reese's stuff. And lastly, to finish everything up with a little bit of our little dessert thingamabob here, let's give York a run for their money. Rite Pantry Peppermint Patties, refreshing mint, two great tastes, chocolatey and cool mint. Yeah, don't they all say that? Enlarged to show texture. Aw, so these things aren't going to be as big as cookies. Anyways. It's a great taste, chocolate. Oh, we just read that on the front. Satisfaction guarantee, I think we all know that. Manufactured on equipment, no tree nuts this time. Wheat, peanut butter, and almonds. It's candy. Who cares about the nutrition facts? What do these taste like compared to York peppermint patties? Hey, look, generic peppermint patties. Generic labels, gotta love them. But who cares about the foil? What does it taste like? Doable. The Yorks hit you harder with a little bit more peppermint, though. But if you want something that at least tastes like a peppermint patty, you don't mind store brand, these will do the trick. Oh, knocked something over. Anywho, I should probably move the coffee table a little further away from the sofa to film these things. Alright, what can I say? What can I say? Soon this Ashen's parody stuff is gonna morph into dinner with MultimediaJay or something like that. Anyways, thumbs up. That's for store brand. That's pretty decent. I'm going to have to compare all the various store brands around here. Definitely worth checking out. I'd say that despite drugstores and food being a goofy combination if you're too used to old-fashioned pharmacies, before all these big chains took over everything, I'd say, yeah, once you get over that little mental hurdle, works out pretty well, and it doesn't cost a lot. Till next time, this is MultimediaJay, signing off. Thanks for stopping by. Great. Chef Excellence. Now I know I've been doing too many of these Ashen's parodies.